Welcome to the Diva Deets. This is where I normally tell you this is a podcast that is the ultimate one for a woman over 40 losing weight, but this podcast is different. Usually I come here with a lot of energy and encouragement, and I do hope that we end this with a lot of encouragement, but I'm coming here because my heart is heavy. We're just walking through this, and I asked my husband to join because I didn't actually want to carry this alone. I wanted to make sure that I had support here because this past week, Lord, I'm already getting emotional. This past week has been one of the darkest that I can remember in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so I don't miss any details, on September 10th, Charlie Kirk was assassinated while speaking at Utah Valley University. I saw the video. It was graphic, and it was like not what I wasn't expect. I thought it was going to be like a news report when I clicked on it. I was not expecting to see that and the horror of it, and it was
You sent it to me, and to me, it was unreal. It was like staged, fake. What is this?
yeah.
And I researched it for like five. I was at work, and researched it for like 2 minutes, and then I was like, "That really happened."
Yeah,
Wow.
it was just shocking. It was a shocking, and it was just we obviously he wasn't going to survive. I think that was the biggest thing. Was I was like, who survives that? Not that God can't do anything, but we knew that was going to be 100% a miracle of God, an act of
Absolutely,
God,
yeah.
in order to save him. So, but then I got on social media post his death, and we watched people celebrate, which I just don't even have words for that. We're gonna walk through that a little bit later. I mean, I raised a lot of kids. We have 8 kids between the two of us.
Yep, two
I
serving.
raised 4 fully from birth. I adopted one, consider him my kid, a 5th that showed up when he was a junior in high school. Both of his parents had passed away, and you know, I pretty much helped him. We helped him get into college and helped him just kind of launch, I guess, if you will. But the other kids, my dog is wanting out. Do you want to go let her out while I'm talking? The other kids, they, I've raised them all to be very bold because the values that Charlie Kirk embodied, which was, to be bold and to, um, stand up for what you truly believe in. And in my opinion, in many ways, my kids all do that. And so, I realized that that's what cost him his life. And so there's just like a side of me that's really torn today. So, and this wasn't the only tragedy. The same day that this happened in Colorado, a 16-year-old opened fire at Evergreen High School, injuring 2 students and taking his own life. Weeks earlier, we had just dealt with the church shooting where an 8 and a 10-year-old were killed. They went to mass. They were killed during mass. There were 17 others injured in that. And then we've just watched this other video that I don't know if it's been on your feed, but it's on my feed. This lady in Charlotte, Iryna Zarutska, 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee, came here and she just was murdered on this train. And we've got this video of this guy stabbing her over and over. And again, it's another one of those videos. It's like, what did I just see? Like, I don't understand. And then she falls on the ground. It's like, oh, clearly he killed her. So when I say this week has been heavy, I mean it. It just feels like it's piled up. Not to mention the fact that, you know, we the reason that we broke up our marriage situation broke up, we've been attacked with that this week as well.
Yeah.
Massively attacked with that. And so it's not just headlines, their lives, their children, their us, their futures cut short. And I don't want to rush to the silver linings in this because I want to sit in this a minute. So where I run my business is social media. 99% of my business is run on social media, and it feels just kind of unbearable to scroll right now. I unfollowed probably 28 more people this week, which breaks my heart to do it because I do feel like everybody should be able to have a voice and speak. But if you're celebrating someone's death or it's mocked or like he had it coming, I'm just not ever going to be okay with that. I'm not going to be okay with that. The thing that struck a chord with me, and maybe this will with you, like my mom told me that when Martin Luther King was assassinated, that people cheered in the streets, that they were so thrilled that and I was like, what people would do that? Who?
What kind of monster would cheer the death
Yeah,
of a
of
person?
anybody.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, I don't get it. And then just also the fact that this young man is the same age as our children.
Yeah.
It's just a heartbreaking situation. It's not, I don't, there's nothing about me that feels good about it. Um, there, we're not vengeful people.
I would
We're
think so.
not. I
No.
did it to us, for us losing a light like Charlie Kirk, that's a massive loss. He was somebody that spoke to the generation that was my boys and empowered them to stand up for their beliefs, to stand up for freedom, to stand up for,
The little guy.
yeah, to stand up to be a Christ follower, to be a light. And I, I'm so, I had the people that hate him never listened to him. The people that hate him heard other people tell them to hate him.
I think
Because
too.
once people are telling me about him, like that they hate him, they never actually listened.
Well, I
I don't
think too, the people that hate him listen to what they wanted to hear.
Maybe,
You know,
maybe,
I'm going to watch a movie, but I'm not going to watch all the this. I'm going to watch the parts that I want to see.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching, there was one speaker that came up to him, and one of the clips that I saw, he came up to the mic and he was like, I just want to say F you because I hate you. I hate you. And Charlie was like, can we have do you want to have do you want to have a conversation with me so that we can hash this out? And he was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll have a conversation with you. F you, and I hate you. I hate everything about you. I hate everything you stand for. And he walked off saying F you. And Charlie was like, okay, well, have a nice day. And that is like why? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. I did have somebody message me after I posted. I've not posted a lot about this, but I did post a rest in peace. I feel this was a terrible loss. I feel that this is us snuffing out the generation to come of, a hopeful. And I'll tell you why I think that, regardless of whether you agreed with him, the thing that I loved about Charlie Kirk is I didn't always agree with everything he said. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he said everything was sunshine and rainbows. I didn't always agree with him. But what I loved about what he did was he helped people embrace boldness.
Mm.
And I've been watching these young Democratic leaders come up that are super bright. And I think a lot of them would have stayed hidden had there not been a Charlie Kirk, because they're not coming out to oppose him per se. They're coming out because they feel brave enough to, because they had a Charlie Kirk to lead that charge. Because I feel like he was just so courageous in standing up for what he believed.
He did stand up for, call it cliche, it, truth, justice, and the American way. He embodied that.
He did. And I mean, he was just stout and steadfast in his belief. And so, we have a grandbaby growing up in a world that would celebrate someone else dying.
Yeah.
I feel it feels surreal to me, this whole situation. I have less emotions attached to it. I cried all day yesterday. I was teaching yoga yesterday. I teach a noon yoga class, and when you do certain breathing exercises, it helps release emotions. And I did these breathing exercises, and I hit a complete release, and I just started sobbing. And I went to the owner of the gym, and she and I have been best friends for, we just don't even want to talk about how long at this point, but I just held her and she held me and we cried. We both really are so shocked that someone would want to take out Charlie Kirk instead of giving him the opportunity to see this life through. Now, I do think that his legacy will live on. I do think that it's going to have sparked into massive flames because of this. I do think that the people that were timid still, you're going to see them rise up even more. And I think that's going to happen on both sides of the party, because I posted a post on my Facebook. It's actually worth reading. So these people are staunch Democrats. We have not ever seen eye to eye on, a lot of the politics. I'm not really Republican or Democrat. I'm kind of middle of the roadocrat. There's not really a space in place for me, but This young lady is so bright. Her mom is amazing. She is a fitness guru in my life named Jennifer Miller. But Natalie Miller on September 10th wrote, somehow, some way, we started believing that empathy is conditional. And that may be one of the biggest reasons we can't agree much on much of anything anymore. I can't say I agreed with anything that Charlie Kirk said. In fact, I think most of his views on politics were incredibly wrong and misguided. What I can say is someone who is largely politically active, as someone who is largely and politically active, no one should be killed for their political beliefs. I'm deeply disturbed by the murder of Kirk, a young husband and father, and somehow I'm more horrified by the response of the people that I expected more from. The party that condemns gun violence shouldn't praise the shooting of a man on a college campus. The party of tolerance shouldn't be making light of the death of another person. The party that calls for less divide in the government shouldn't be making this a left versus right issue. The party that supports all women shouldn't be saying that his wife and his family deserved this. The party that supports political liberties should be vehemently opposed to anybody attempting to silence people's views, regardless of party. I hope that if your immediate reaction to this news was joyful or really even apathetic, you should consider that you are part of the unprecedented divide in our country, and you need to rethink how you react to when even your enemies are being attacked. That is the kind of minds that I think that this is going to bring out. This is not a Republican, but he would have sat down with anybody. I saw him have conversations with anybody and everybody. And so I think it's important to recognize and realize that you have a bright light snuffed out because somebody hated him. End of story. People are like, we're not sure why he's motivated. Well, when you kill someone, you hate them. We were talking about the definition of fascism because they're throwing, oh, he was a fascist. Definition of fascist, you're killing people if they don't agree with you. So I just feel like that is a little bit misguided, truly. It just feels so weird. And we've told our kids, don't be afraid, be bold. Don't be afraid to be Christian. Don't be afraid to stand up. Don't be afraid. And I'm still proud of that, but it also terrifies me a little.
Yeah. We were talking earlier and I said I wanted to quote Hamilton. We just watched it at the theaters and I've seen it I don't have enough time to tell you how many times I've seen it. But one of the things I said to you was, rise up.
Rise up.
And you were talking just a second ago about legacy. And I remember in Hamilton when he said, what is a legacy? A legacy is planting a seed in a garden that you'll never see rise.
That's right. That's right. I think I've been taken back to Hamilton so many times during this because the other part of it was Aaron Burr having that moment of realization that he's just murdered Hamilton.
Yeah. Oh
and
my God.
Realizing, oh my gosh, the world was big enough for both Hamilton and me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and if there's anybody that kind of embodies that spirit of Hamilton, it is Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk probably hated everything about Hamilton. I don't know. I've never asked him, but I don't know. But that was who it reminded me of because you had this young man who was so bold and people loved to hate Hamilton.
Hamilton or Bird or
Aaron Burr?
No.
Oh.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie
didn't go to college.
No, he didn't.
He read everything he could read.
Yeah.
And he got his...
Well, he did go for a short time.
Yes.
And he just was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
He was just like...
And I saw that in a podcast or in an episode today. He was actually at the University of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And he was talking to a young girl. And, he has his education is indoctrinated, if that's the word I want to use, through reading and publications and just mm-hmm. self-taught.
So almost like everything he could get his hands on, he was absorbing. Yeah. And that was how he would learn. That's how you learn how to debate. I mean, how do you learn how to debate? When you know your enemy the best. You learn everything about your enemy and you learn so that you know what to say.
Yeah. Or what not to say.
Yeah. And I mean, you know how to steer the conversation. You have control of a debate if you know your enemy the best, right? And I feel like a lot of times when he would go into debates, I think that was probably where that skill set came from. I mean, he wasn't like he didn't win every debate, and I personally think he was tickled at South Park's making fun of him. Did you see that episode where he was the master debater?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
I think they've taken it down because they don't want to be part of. I mean, they definitely were like, we're not okay with him being assassinated. I mean, us making fun of him is one thing. I think they took it down because they were just not okay with the assassination. So, um, but okay, so we talked about how heavy this week feels. Um, even the girl in Charlotte that was killed. I mean, her parents are not here. She's here as a refugee, and so they've probably seen their poor baby over and over and over. So we have all these things happening.
Mhm.
We have these senseless deaths, and I don't want to leave us stuck there. And so I do not normally go scriptural. I'm open about the fact that I'm Christian. I have tried to stay open that way that I'm a Christ follower. But I want to just kind of anchor us in what God says about moments like this, because otherwise, like, fear can eat you alive. That's why I feel so much better today than I have, because I've just been trying to anchor myself in the word. In Psalm 34:18, God says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and he saves those who are crushed in spirit." There's another scripture, and I cannot remember the reference of it, but it is, "Blessed are those who mourn." He's there to comfort you. But the verse that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit, that really feels like it was written for us right now
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
time.
Well, I mean, you think back when Jesus was being persecuted and all the things, all of his disciples were they were crushed
Yeah.
because here is their leader that they followed for all these years, and he's just like, "Hey guys, don't worry about it. I got this."
Right.
And he did it willingly. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying Charlie Kirk sat underneath underneath his awning going, "Hey, you know what? I think I want to get shot today." I don't think that was his intention. No, that definitely not what his intentions were. But his message was, if if I'm ever to if something was ever to happen to me, don't worry.
Mhm.
Fear not.
Yeah.
You know, the things that are promised, they're still there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he fought for those things. He spoke up for those things.
Yeah. He did. He really did. Um, and I mean, that's what I needed to hear was that you don't necessarily feel close to God. You feel a bit. Oh, Brian's got a scripture too.
Read verses all the way to verse 2. Stop at verse 2.
Okay, so this is Isaiah 57, 1-2. It says, "Good people pass away. The godly often die before their time, but no one seems to care or wonder why. No one seems to understand that God is protecting them from the evil to come. For those who follow godly paths will rest in peace when they die." And that's so true. Thank you for sharing that. That's seriously, like, that's a great one, because and that actually made me feel better, because I did feel crushed. I felt angry this week. I felt angry.
Yeah.
I felt angry. And
not just like almost like a bitter kind of anger.
Yeah,
I mean, not
not-
you, I'm saying me.
yeah,
I felt
angry.
mad. I mean, there's a difference between I'm angry or mad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
felt mad.
Yeah.
I can be angry at my kids and whatever. Get over it.
Yeah.
But this is like a deep in your heart kind of sickening.
It's hurt.
It's a hurt.
It's
yeah.
a hurt. It's like a hurt angry. And
But not like a hangry.
well,
like a
maybe.
hangry.
No, we did eat. I mean, the other scripture I have here for you to read.
This is Romans 12:21.
Yeah.
Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
What does that mean to you?
Well, if I'm going to dissect it, I'm going to say don't get beat down, but don't be afraid to stand up. Rise up.
But not lash out.
No.
No.
You can retaliate on someone without violence.
Well, because God is very clear that vengeance is his.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to take that away from
No,
him.
absolutely not. If someone does me wrong, perfect example, where I work, something happened, and I transitioned out of a position, well, that position actually kind of faltered a little bit, kind of stumbled. I didn't have nothing to do with it. I stepped away from that situation. God dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He did, because you just have to not let evil win in you. You have to choose not to let evil win in you. You have to fight back with good.
Yeah.
And we're praying for this boy's family. What is his name, Ryan? Tyler
Tyler Robinson.
Robinson is the young man that they've arrested and has admitted to assassinating Charlie Kirk. And we're praying. I can't imagine being his dad right now. His mom, I raised you. I raised you. I raised you. I just can't imagine that.
But again, let's just use this as a reference. Your beliefs are not my beliefs. My beliefs are not your beliefs.
No.
We can raise our children from infancy till adulthood. Hey, the sky is blue. The sky is blue. The sky is blue because it's blue.
Yeah.
Well, why is it blue? Because it is. And then when they finally reach adulthood, oh, the sky is only blue because of the reflection from the water.
Yeah.
Well, our beliefs this whole time was the sky is blue just because it's blue.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
well, the other flip side of this is that Charlie Kirk would have wanted us to forgive him for this.
The young man?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Had he actually had a conversation with him, it might have changed. Well, I know it would have changed it, because having a conversation opens up and takes away hatred. It takes down anything that you put out into the open. God can work with anything that you keep hidden and isolated. The enemy has full access to.
Yeah.
And so, this is just kind of rolling it back. This is how I want to connect this back to health, because this is a health podcast. Because, overcoming evil with good isn't just public acts, it's daily choices. It's like me, I'm going to decide to fuel my body today. I'm going to decide to hit my 4 pillars today. I'm going to decide to hit my habits today. Those things, that is how I'm going to do. When it's time to rest, I'm going to rest my body today. I'm going to recover my body today. I'm going to be present for my family today. I'm going to make sure that I'm being the best version of myself for my family today. And that's how I feel like I'm trying to pull all of this in, because not that everything has to do with weight loss or whatever, but we literally don't know our day and time. You could be doing everything that you love and you're snuffed out in a moment. You just don't know. You don't know your day and time. So your time here is needs to be those small choices as well.
Yeah.
I think that would help anybody. And then John 16:33, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. And that one I've really been holding on to, because the fact that Jesus has overcome the world, there's a lot of hope in that. It's not sugarcoating. He said there will be violence. He said there will be pain. He said there will be injustice. But he said he wins in the end. And we all know that Charlie Kirk professed that constantly.
Yeah.
And none of us are worried about where Charlie Kirk, we all know where Charlie Kirk is right now. None of us are worried about that part. I'm sad that he's not here with us. I'm sad that he's not going to be a light here. But that's hope. That is hope. And yeah.
I'm sure that his light will shine through other forms, other media. Somebody's
Brian,
going to take up his mantle. And
Brian and I were just talking about, like, I've seen like online, I think 17 different people giving themselves to Christ because of his death, just sobbing. Like it was all over X. These young men that were there and witnessed him getting killed, they just are giving their lives to Christ. And so I think we're going to see a revival because of this Charlie Kirk situation. I am praying over it. I'm trying to be really openly praying over it, because the enemy can access anywhere if we let him. And we need this aftermath to bring about revival and not revenge. And I think that is a really critical component of this particular situation.
Yeah.
And neither one of us feel revengeful.
No.
I'm sad. I have grief. I do have anger. I'm angry at the loss. But I have so much sadness for this young man, because we were just talking about this. His whole life is done. He's 22 and his whole life is finished. Finished. And he's in a state that I think does death penalty.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so it's a whole, it's going to be another loss. I just don't necessarily, I'm sad. I understand it. I get it. But it's also, it's a grief filled situation. And I just didn't want to not talk about it. Brian and I talked about, we're going to push this podcast out earlier than we normally would. This would be like 2 or 3 weeks before you hear it. And we're pushing this out because first and foremost, I am here to help people win their lives, period. And a lot of what I do is we even have we have so many prayer requests in our divas that we have an entire group in our divas dedicated to praying for people. Me, my personal assistant Laura, my assistant coach Leah, we are all praying for all of these people that are inside of this app, because they're all located all over this country and people are hurting right now. People are hurting. And so I fight for my health, not for abs.
Yeah.
I'm fighting for my health for the reality that, life is fragile.
Well, that brings me to think what yesterday was.
Yeah.
Yesterday was 9/11, 24 years ago.
It was so much grief this
Right.
week. Yeah.
And one of the things that we've got to remember to do, we can't stop. Do you stop going to the gym? Maybe for a little bit. Maybe you take a pause because you've got to grieve. When 9/11 happened, I was working a job. I worked really close with the government during that time, and we could not stop. We didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did we pause? Yeah, we paused. We took it in. We said, okay, XYZ has happened. Now we move forward. Did we move forward like yippee-ki-yay, all happy and go lucky? No, but we moved forward.
Right.
The passing of this man, we can't stop. We can't stop going to work. We can't stop going to schools. We can't stop going to the movies.
Right.
But we can pause. We can reflect on this man's legacy,
Mm-hmm.
And our health, we can pause it. Hey, we're hurting right now. I'm going to go have a candy bar because I'm hurting.
Mm-hmm.
It's grief eating, we'll call it that.
I don't condone that, but okay.
But still, we have to pause.
Yeah.
And
that part I agree with.
Once we come through our pause, okay, now we pick back up. Did we miss our workout? Yes, but you know what? We're going to make up for it tomorrow. Did we get all of our water in today? Probably not, but we're going to make up for it tomorrow.
You just have to start. You just have to keep going.
Keep going.
Keep pushing.
Just what
And
Laura
the flip
said.
side of that is, how do you handle people celebrating this? How do you do that? And I think that you just have to pray for them. I've just been putting my hand on my phone, and I've prayed for I don't know how many hundreds of people since this. I'm just praying for you, man. I'm praying for you because I don't want you to get struck by lightning for your stupid mouth. But I feel like that is a possibility. And I'm laughing, but I'm not. I do not mock God. That is something that I just don't do. I don't play with that. So it's not vanity. It's not, when you continue forward, it's not for vain reasons. It's not, you're not continuing your meal prep and all your exercising. It's not vanity. It's resilience.
Yeah.
And one thing that I built a lot of last year was resilience. And I was like, I don't ever want to build that much resilience again. We're good this year.
Well, it's like what Dory says, just keep swimming.
Yeah, you just got to keep showing up even when you feel weak. So do you want to add anything else to the actual podcast itself or the people? I appreciate you spending time with me.
I don't condone in the candy bar eating either. I just wanted to be funny.
He just doesn't want to pay for that later.
This is the only one we've ever done. It's I have so much to say on this topic. And I'm just back here I do want to say something. And I know it's unusual for the producer.
No, please do.
But I think it's important for us to remember who the enemy is.
Yes. Remember who the enemy is.
This is 100% like Ephesians 6, who wrestle not against flesh and blood.
That's right.
Every bit of this, everything you see going on in this country, whether or not people agree with it, it's still true. This is satanic. And our enemy are not the people doing this. It's who's influencing them. That's the enemy. And weirdly, ironically, the day this happened, I found out about it right before I went to church. But earlier that day, I was spending time in scripture when I was in 1 John 4. And it talks about loving your brother, which that's referring to Christians. But then I ended up in Matthew 22, where Jesus is asked, what's the greatest commandment? And he says, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, strength. But he said, just as important is to love your neighbor as yourself. And so before I came out here today, I was thinking about this because this has hit me heavy too. And I thought about that guy, that kid, he's a kid, being in a courtroom. And a thought that came to my mind was Jesus walking in, because that's what he did for all of us. Mm-hmm. Like we're angry that this kid did this, and rightfully so, but Jesus still died for him just like he did us. Yeah. Like in the courtroom, he came and did, like we've all done vile things in our lives. And so I thought it really kind of put it into perspective for me. Yeah. It's like, and I think this is I know tangible is probably not the right word, but I'm going to use it anyway. This is a very tangible demonstration of the evil that is operating right now. It is. And we have to remember who the real enemy is. Satan wants us to believe that it's the left, the right, it's the people, and it's not. It's him. This is the kingdom of darkness. It is. That's operating. And so you ask how you handle those people, pray for them. Yeah. Because it's not them. No. It's who's influencing them. They just don't know they're deceived. That's right. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like when I envision this kid going on trial, I imagine he's going to get a lot of open forgiveness and not know what to do with that. That would be the most amazing thing to happen. I think that he's just not going to know what to do.
I think for him, I think that would be more overwhelming than them saying, you're dead. Yeah. Just imagine if Erica comes out and says, I forgive you for what you've done. Right. And so the other thing too, we're talking about this kid ruined his life. God's a great redeemer. Mm-hmm. And so we don't know what God is already using Charlie's death. I mean, I showed you that tweet I saw. This girl's like, I can't explain it, but I'm feeling the draw to go to church and give my heart to Christ. And I just that overwhelmed me, because that was my hope. Like, mm-hmm. I called my friend Ryan about this because I didn't understand what I was feeling and I didn't know how to process what I saw. And one of the things he said to me was that the Holy Spirit was grieved by this, because this was a brother in Christ. Mm-hmm. This man, above politics, stood up for the gospel on these campuses. Most of the time when he was there, he openly said, I'm a Christian, and he shared the gospel with people. So he's a martyr for the faith. And so a man like that doesn't die like that without God doing something big. Like, something is going to come of this. And I think God will use this for his good. For John on the Isle of Patmos.
Yeah, God will use this for his glory and his good in some way. Yeah. I mean, it's awful and tragic as it is. Like, our job still being here is to be his hands and his feet. 1 John 4 commands us to be like Christ while we're here. And and John MacArthur brought up a good point in a sermon I listened to. He said when Jesus was on earth, he had nothing but enemies. Mm-hmm. Every single person here was his enemy, and he chose to love and give his life, and that's what we're to do. Yeah. Yep. And that's going to be the call for us in this. Yeah. This is our chance. This is our opportunity as Christ's ambassadors on this earth to rise to that call. Yeah. And while they're murdering us, we respond with love. Yeah. We hug you while you kill us. Yeah. We ask God to forgive you because we know you. And that is exactly what Charlie Kirk would have done. Absolutely. That is exactly what he would have done. Yeah. When the person messaged me on Instagram, she said that, he incited riots and all this different stuff. And I was like, have you ever watched anything of his? Because that is just definitely not his MO. And he never didn't incite the riots. What he said angered people to incite riots. That wasn't him, though. And I mean, honestly, I would never have condoned that behavior, because that was not. And I've heard people be like, oh, he was against women and everything. He was a Christian, so he has a Christian viewpoint on women. That doesn't mean he hates women. I mean, clearly he doesn't. He's a beautiful, beautiful wife. And I also, Candace Owens, I went to her page because I thought
thought, I wondered if she went into hiding because she all she did was put up one sentence, and it was, "I can't process this with a broken heart." And if you don't know this, like if you do or don't hate Candace Owens, again, it doesn't matter. She stands up for what she believes is right. Well, they campaigned together for 2 years on the road, nonstop together. And so, like, she was like, it was like an old married couple almost. Like, you can't pack your clothes like this. You don't put stuff like this in the suitcase. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like that. They helped each other find each other's spouses and all this different stuff. And she was like, at the end of the day, all he ever had was a smile on his face, because that's just how he lived his life. And she said, people assume so much. She said, we got off. She actually showed a clip from it because it was really funny. She said, we got off, I think it was, they had gotten off a flight, and there was a guy standing there with a sign that said, because people just knew where they were. They would find him and throw eggs at him, find him and throw water on him. He was standing there holding a sign, and he said, the only way you can be Charlie Kirk's friend is if you are a white man. And she was like, I didn't know I wasn't your friend anymore. And he was like, I'm sorry, you had to find out this way. It was so funny. It was so funny. And she's like, that's just how he lived his life. And so I appreciated so much that she put that out there. And in the big world of podcasting, I'm a great big nobody, but for the people that are listening to me and are hearing me, we can all do better. We can all do more. I truly believe that with my whole heart. I don't have the answers for why the world looks the way it does. We're in a fallen world right now. We have to choose to be light in this and hope. Our lives matter. Our voices matter. And sitting on my couch and shutting up about this isn't going to help anybody. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help us process this. And you know what? Your health is one way that you fight back, to be quite honest with you. The hope to keep us moving forward so that you can do what it is that you're supposed to do with your life and be there for your family, refusing to disappear, stay present, and be there for the people who need us. Yeah. That's my passion in life, is to empower women to be able to do that. So if you are listening, stay strong, guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your spirit, pray yourself up. My mom, when I called her about this, she was like, you make sure that you pray the armor over yourself, every single time. Pray the armor over yourself. And so I've been doing that more often, and it's helping me. It helps to not just stabilize me emotionally, but I feel the ability to be bold. And so to me, this is a bold podcast. Normally I wouldn't put something out here that has something to do with an assassination and something to do with my religious beliefs. And I wouldn't do that, because I am a coach who helps women lose weight. But you need to keep showing up, because your world needs your light right now. And until next time, stay strong, stay consistent, and stay fabulous, my divas.
Thanks for tuning into this latest episode of the Diva Deets. If this helped you and you found it valuable, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Ready for more support? Join my free Facebook community or join my coaching community. The details are in the show notes. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, stay strong, stay consistent, and stay fabulous, my divas.